Welcome to the Gaggle and happy 2019, happy new year to everyone. It's been a while, we're back. It's a new year, a new election cycle is starting, and we also have a new legislative session that is almost underway. We have the governor starting his second term and outlining his vision. We also have other constitutional officers talking about what they hope to achieve. Here to talk about it is Maria Paletta and Dustin Gardner. Maria, talk about what the governor outlined in his inaugural speech and what that may suggest for a second term.
Well, his address yesterday, first of all, the tone of it was very much in line with his acceptance speech when he won, going from some of that I'll say more harsh or personal campaign trail rhetoric to unity and civility and bipartisanship. So that was a big focus of it. In terms of topics that he mentioned, of course, public safety, jobs, his normal themes, but he really focused a lot on water. He wants to see that drought contingency plan passed. He's getting a little nervous about that because the feds have put a end of January deadline for the southwestern states on that. So water was a big thing. He also touched on the state's expected surplus and said that officials were not, on his watch going to go on any spending sprees, even if they had some extra money.
Okay, we'll see if he can hold them to that. Dustin, the other officers who talked at their inaugural, what did they outline? Let's start with education.
So Kathy Hoffman, the new superintendent of public instruction, she gave a very interesting speech. It was maybe a little more political than some of the others yesterday. She talked about making sure educators have competitive pay. She talked about treating multilingualism as an asset. And she talked about just kind of the idea that educators' voices haven't been elevated at the state level, and she wants to change that. It was also interesting that she took the oath of office on a children's book, a book that she uses in her profession as a speech therapist to teach students, rather than a Bible. So that made some waves down at the Capitol.
No, I was just going to say that she also had some interesting specifics in there. Obviously, she focused, like Dustin said, on competitive pay for teachers, but she also mentioned some other specific benefits that she wants to see for retention purposes, like maternity and paternity leave, which public school teachers, I guess, still do not have.
Right. Yeah. We also had a Democrat talking for the Secretary of State's office. This is something we haven't seen in a while. What did Katie Hobbs say?
Yeah, Katie Hobbs, the new Secretary of State, she's the first Democrat to hold that office since early 1995. She said pretty pointedly that she would fight any efforts to restrict the right to vote. This is kind of foreshadowing maybe a potential future showdown between her office and Republicans in the state legislature. Republicans have raised concerns about some voting practices in Maricopa County, so we might see a battle on that this session. And then another interesting comment we had was from Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Brnovich also struck a very bipartisan tone similar to the governor, but he also signaled that he's not giving up on his lawsuit against the Arizona Board of Regents. This is the lawsuit challenging tuition increases at the 3 public universities in the state, and he said that the state has a mandate to make sure that education is affordable and accessible to everyone.
So this was the first inaugural where we've had Democrats and Republicans sort of sharing the stage in a decade, really. Everyone made it off stage okay? No bruises yet?
No bruises, even though Attorney General Brnovich was on a scooter after foot surgery, but other than that, everybody did okay.
Okay, good, we'll take that.
On the federal level, we have a new Congress, obviously, and we're right in the throes of a government shutdown. What does that look like, Ron, and what can we expect going forward?
Right now it just looks like we have a lot of side taking. People are sort of digging in for the positions that they've been holding for some time now. Our new delegation has switched from 5 Republicans and 4 Democrats to 5 Democrats and 4 Republicans. So that dynamic is a little different. The partisan, position taking is still what we have normally seen. So on the shutdown, Democrats seem to be suggesting let's move forward without spending on the wall necessarily, and Republicans are obviously supporting the president's position. And we already see Nancy Pelosi and Democrats supporting gun control on the anniversary of Gabby Giffords being shot near Tucson. So Democrats in Arizona's delegation have supported that kind of legislation. Republicans don't seem interested in it, and it doesn't appear to have any legs in the Senate anyway. So no progress in Washington as usual. That's it for the Gaggle this week. Thanks so much for watching, and tune in next week. Thanks so much.